Oh, snap. Let's get ready to rumble. Welcome in, everybody. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, we're live on YouTube, The Mystery Project, on Rumble, The Mystery Project on Rumble, The Haunted Side over on TikTok. What? Great to see everybody. YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, and Rumble, hit that thumbs up button for me. Interaction with the video always helps, y'all. Just tells the algorithms to spread the love. Subscribe on both. TikTok, come over and join either one if you want to actually watch the videos with us, which I implore you to come on over. Come on over. Come on over, baby. Okay. So many cases to talk about, y'all. So many things. So Bryan Kohberger, we're going to start with Bryan Kohberger, this guy right behind me. YouTube, you don't see him yet. Rumble, you don't see him yet. But Bryan Kohberger, basically, he's pissed, y'all. He says the FBI is hiding evidence.
What? What the fuck?
Yeah. Okay. So I guess his defense attorneys are talking about this. We're going to be discussing that. Sounds like a whole thing. All right. Then we're going to talk about Dan Schneider. Y'all know who that is, right? That's that dude that was in the Nickelodeon expose. What was it called? I don't remember what it was called, but Quiet on the Set. The production company behind Quiet on the Set. Yep. Yeah, so we're going to talk about him. He's pissed. He's suing the production company. Called it a hit piece. Said, oh, hell no.
How dare you?
That's what he said. When we're all sitting there going,
how dare you?
To him. So we're going to talk about that. Then, y'all wanted it. Y'all wanted it, so I got it. I found it. We're going to watch it. Ruby Frankie, her friend, that Paige Hannah girl. Yeah, her video. She has two of them. Y'all, two of them. We're going to watch them. Talking about Jody, talking about Ruby, talking about being in connections.
It's about connection.
The whole damn thing. So I hope you guys are ready for this. It's going to be a long night. I'm going to shrink myself down. Let's get it started with Bryan Kohberger. Y'all, TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. Tap the screen like crazy. Hit me with the Let 'em Cooks. We're trying to get 111. We need 3 more. So we basically hit that one. Let's go. And go leave a like and leave a comment on the pinned video so we get some people in here. Are we ready? Are we ready to rumble? Yes, we are. All right, here we go.
So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
Fighting words from Bryan Kohberger's lawyer, Ann Taylor. She's accusing the FBI and the prosecution of hiding evidence from her team.
To be clear, the state has nothing to hide.
And the prosecution is firing back at a recent claim by the defense about where Bryan Kohberger says he was the night 4 University of Idaho students were murdered.
Oh yeah, the looking up at the stars.
Bruh.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
You were staring at Uranus. You had a nice full-on view of Uranus, which is actually the proper pronunciation, y'all. I know the kids in us want to say Uranus. It's actually Uranus. Did y'all know that? I did, because I chaperoned a field trip to the planetarium. I came back smarter. Man, I got hella into that shit. Had a big-ass dome. We sat down. There was like, we could look up and see fucking everything. That shit was amazing. I was excited. I was over there like
Unhinged bananas crazy.
Anyways, it is Uranus. Look that shit up if you don't believe me. All right, let's keep going.
Thanks for joining me for Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. For a while, things appeared to be pretty cordial between the prosecution and the defense in Bryan Kohberger's case, but things have become pretty heated lately. It seemed to go south during the fight over the defense conducting a juror survey, which they're still allowed to do after a big court fight. Now there's a big conflict over whether an upcoming hearing should be closed to the public. The prosecution wants the hearing sealed or closed, meaning only attorneys and court staff can attend, no members of the public, and certainly no members of the media. There's information that Bryan Kohberger's defense
Oh, damn. They're trying to say, oh, hell no.
Defense team believes
Oh, we hit the goal. Yeah, thanks, y'all. Hang on. Let me get it reset. Y'all, go leave a like, go leave a comment on that pinned video while I reset that too real quick. And come hang out over on YouTube. Just search for the haunted side, y'all. Search her up. All right, let's get 10 of those festival blings. Bling me up festival style, y'all.
they're entitled to, and they haven't received it. And what exactly that might be kind of remains a mystery because everything related to discovery in this case is filed under seal. But Ann Taylor dropped a few hints. More on that in a minute. But first, Ashley Jennings, an assistant prosecutor.
Oh, damn, let's go. Smitten Kitten, yeah, I agree. And Quinny, I know. I agree with that too.
For Latah County argued about why she believes an upcoming hearing should be closed. Take a listen.
So, Judge, the applicable authority today in determining whether or not we should close the May 14th hearing is Idaho Administrative Court Rule 32 and Idaho Code 74-124. Both contemplate balancing this public right to an open hearing versus the interests such as privacy, safety, and the right to a public trial or to a fair trial. In deciding whether or not to file the motion to close the hearing, the state weighed those interests and ultimately came down that the need to protect the privacy and the sensitive information and ultimately protect the state and defendant's right to a fair trial outweighs the right to an open hearing.
Deanna, thank you for the $10 Rumble rant. Let's go. It's about connection.
It's about connection.
That it is. Deanna, thank you for the Rumble rant. Very sweet. Y'all, we got the YouTube super chats and the YouTube memberships unlocked. We got Festival Blings over here on the TikTok. We got Off the Grid action. Dolores, thank you so much for the Cash App, getting that started. Holy macaroni. I don't even know what to do anymore, y'all. The love you guys show me is insane. Absolutely insane. All right, let's continue on.
Feel confident that when the court does this same balancing test, it'll come to the same conclusion.
Jennings says the information that would be discussed in this upcoming hearing was discussed in a motion that was originally filed under seal, so the public couldn't see it. Now the defense wants it discussed in public.
Now the defense is taking a contradictory position and asking the court to ignore all the previous filings. And this is just entirely inconsistent. To be clear, the state has nothing to hide. However, it's crucial that we protect, as we have been trying, the integrity of this case, and that we protect, ultimately, the right to a fair trial. So let's look at the factors.
Oh, snap. What are the factors? We need to hear the factors. Stacy, $2 Rumble rant. Ha! I'm wearing my Unhinged Bananas crazy shirt tonight.
Unhinged Bananas crazy.
Yeah, Stacy, amen to that. Y'all go get your Unhinged Bananas crazy shirt. Get your allegedly shirt. Get your true crime or Moms Love True Crime shirt. Get your You Look Suspicious shirt. All of it. TheHauntedSide.com, y'all. You can find all the merch. You can find the ways to support the show directly, aka Off the Grid. Little Cash App love, little Venmo love, PayPal's, all that stuff if you want to. Keep in mind, you guys don't have to, but it is very much appreciated. Plus, go leave a like and go leave a comment on that pinned video, y'all. It's not doing good right now. TikTok's like, oh yeah, you have 181,000 people that follow you. We're going to give you 700 views.
How dare you?
TikTok, stop it. TikTok, not y'all, but like the overlords. These overlords are crazy as hell, y'all. Go leave a like, go leave a comment. We got almost 100 likes and 50 comments, y'all. We can get 100 likes and we can get 100 comments, y'all. Go leave a like, go leave a comment. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right, let's continue. Stacy, thank you again. Deanna, thank you so much for the Rumble rants, y'all.
Balancing a public's right to an open hearing and the party's right to a fair trial.
So Ashley Jennings kind of has a point there. It does seem inconsistent. Here's Ann Taylor's response to that. It's
been brought up that we've filed a lot of documents under seal. We have. The Those are documents that end up in the public record that thousands of people can read. And we file those under seal for expediency in saying this is exactly what we want from discovery. If the court looks at the documents, and the court can and probably has through the year and a half this case has been pending, there are a lot of names and specific bits of information in there. And so for expediency, we file those under seal, and for the reasons outlined in Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32.
GLC, thanks for the rose and first gift. Thank you for that. Deanne, thanks for the team bracelet too. Y'all hit me with the festival things. Can y'all see them, or is it all? It looks all shaded out. Can you see the festival blings, y'all? Hit me with 10 of them. Let's get it.
But what we're talking about now is a public hearing when the state has decided to not give us information or to drag their feet on giving us information. We're talking about a public hearing where we have a right to be in the public eye, a public hearing. Bryan's the one with the right. It's his Sixth Amendment right to have a public hearing. When the state wants to close a hearing, or any party, and the other party objects, which we do, the court is guided by case law.
You're going to get no argument from me when it comes to keeping courtrooms open to the public. I've been covering courts for a really long time, and closing courtrooms in criminal cases is really rare. It really doesn't happen often. It should be done out in the open, the court's business. But the defense kind of brought this on themselves to a degree. They didn't even want cameras in the courtroom. They've agreed to file things under seal. And now they want things out in the open again. And I'm all for that. The prosecution had this to say about what could happen if the hearing were to be open to the public.
If the court decides to open this hearing to the public, the state defense will be discussing evidence without any context. This will undoubtedly fuel speculation, lead to assumptions, and false narratives. The evidence discussed may not even be offered, and most of it likely will not be offered by either party at trial because it's either not relevant or material. The public will not have any means or context to be able to differentiate that.
So this probably has you wondering, what is this information and why is it so important? Well, some of it has to do with video from the area of the King Road house on the night of the murders.
Another example of this, Your Honor, is with the video tape that they've relied a lot on in their probable cause affidavit that we've received different parts of. Part of the hearing on the 14th is to talk about the different parts of that video that we've received and how we need the whole context. This is the video that they say places this car near the residence. We've received.
Sorry, always into it. Jenny, thanks for the festivals. Denise, thanks for the TGIFs. Denise, thanks for the hearts. The heart me too. Y'all, thank you so much. Jenny, thank you. You guys are very... Jenny, 80%? You guys are amazing. Thank you for the love. Hit the follow button if you happen to be new here, y'all. Tap the screen like crazy. And we got 25,000 likes almost. We're damn close, y'all. So come on in. And oh, we hit that one too. Damn. Okay. All right. I'll raise you 10 festival blinks. You guys won't put 10 mariachi hats on me. Huh?
Little tiny pieces of that. And we think Bryan's right to a fair trial means the public needs to know that they've withheld the audio from a great portion of that and that it starts a long time before the little clip that we've received. To do this in a vacuum, Judge, when documents are filed under seal, that's fine. Those are documents, but this hearing needs to be in the public eye.
Remember, that video is really important because originally the FBI analyst said the car was a white Hyundai Elantra.
Yep, I do remember that. Y'all remember that?
And it was a model made between the years of 2011 and 2013. But the probable cause affidavit said that changed. The analyst went back and looked again and decided that model could have been made between 2011 and 2016. Kohberger drove a 2015 Hyundai Elantra.
Bryan has been essentially convicted in the media. You don't have to read but a few articles to see how negative they are about him. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Bryan's innocent. Your Honor, Bryan is innocent. And he has an absolute Sixth Amendment right to have his hearings in public.
There's also other information the defense wants related to cell tower records.
But that order was to protect information, the IGG information, that they say details how the state got to Bryan in the first place. That's been sealed. That's fine. We respect that. But you have to question, why can we not talk about the things they're not giving us? Why can we not talk about the cell phone information, the tower information, the drive test information in a public arena? Why should Bryan have to have his case, when he's asking for this information, be done in a little vacuum where the state says what the public can hear and what the public can't hear?
One of the things that Ann Taylor wants is the FBI's CAST report. I spoke with retired FBI agent and attorney Bobby Chacon about the CAST report and what that is.
Yeah, the CAST is the Cellular Analysis Survey Team, and that report would be the data of Kohberger's cell phone movements that the FBI provided that assistance to Idaho for this case. It is an interesting situation because the FBI is not a party to this process. They're not a party to this proceeding. So they're not in court at these hearings. So it's almost like the court either has to compel the FBI to come in and provide that or compel the state to get it from the FBI. And I would assume that's what the defense is going to try for, to have the court compel the state to get it from the FBI, whatever it is that they want. Or they can, I guess they could subpoena the FBI into court, the FBI agents into court, to provide that information or testimony about it. But I think that CAST in recent years has claimed to have technology that can greatly increase the accuracy of cell phone triangulation data, much more accurate than was previously done in the past. That actually, though, is subject to some controversy. There are some experts in that field that push back on the FBI's claims that of how accurate that can actually be.
Now, as we know, the prosecution is relying heavily on cell phone information in this case, and so is the defense.
Ooh, snap.
Absolutely. Because not only is it a big part of his alibi, but it's also a big part of the prosecution's claims that he was at that house, not only on the night of the murder, but maybe on previous occasions as well. So I think that cell phone data is going to be a huge piece of the evidence in this case, both for the defense and for the prosecution. So, for his alibi and for their theory of the case that he was in that area, again, on the night of the murder and previously. So I think that you have the DNA on the knife sheath, you have the witness that was left alive in the house, and you have the cell phone data. Those are the three big pillars here, I believe. And so I think that cell phone data is definitely going to be heavily contested, both in these pretrial motions and hearings and at the trial in front of a jury. I think you're going to have a lot of expert testimony come in. It's going to be kind of a battle of the cell phone experts in this case.
The defense has...
Oh, snap. What do y'all think about that? Holy mackerel. Was he stargazing, y'all? That's what he says. Caffeinated Sloth, good to see you. Long time no see. By the way, y'all, hit the follow button if you're new here. Tap the screen like crazy. Let's get 50,000 likes. Hit me with the mariachi hats, y'all. I dare you. We need 8 more of those bad boys. Sorry, y'all. We got to play TikTok's game sometimes, so we gotta do the gifts and things because they're crazy as hell. They don't want to show anybody these videos. Look, we got 176. We usually have 500 or 600 now. TikTok's like, no, not today. Plus, posted the video. Y'all are liking it and commenting it. 790 views. TikTok, give me a damn break. Y'all are crazy as hell. All right, let's keep going.
It's already said it will call an expert, Cy Ray, a retired police officer, to testify about Bryan Kohberger's cell phone and the fact that his analysis says it was in Pullman, Washington, and not Moscow on the night of the murders. The defense plans to use Ray to back up Bryan Kohberger's alibi, that he was out hiking and or running and looking at the stars. So where is this CAST report?
Your Honor, we're happy to, and when we get the CAST report, we'll disclose it. If we do not have it, we are not withholding it. As simple as that.
I read that last night. Okay.
Your Honor, I do have several other examples, but in light of what the court said, I won't provide them right at the moment. There are other issues.
I understand, and I understand your frustration. And it's a big deal. It's
It is a
really
big
important. I understand that too, and I acknowledge that. Sometimes, we just can't quite get what we want from other people who might have it that don't want to give it up. So,
what? We're talking about evidence in a capital case. We're not talking about crayons. We're not talking about freaking popsicles here. Well, sometimes people have things that you want and they don't want to give it up, so you don't get it.
that's one of my challenges on the 14th.
So there is something that both Judge and Taylor consider to be a big deal, but they're dancing around it in public. They won't come out and say exactly what it is. But things have become a little too tense between the defense and the prosecution for Judge's liking. Take a listen.
I trust both of you, okay? Your integrity. So I don't want this pointing the fingers back and forth. I don't think it's very helpful. Doesn't really help me. It started with the last hearing, and I really want y'all to just tone it down a little bit. I mean, you can argue all you want, but when it starts to be personal, it's destructive. I mean, you're really, really good lawyers. So let's just focus on the issues.
So this is the second time just recently that Judge has told both sides to basically chill out.
I do, for the record, need to clarify the representations of
He said basically just chill the hell out.
defense that we are intentionally withholding things that they're entitled to is just utter nonsense. We have strived. We are continuing every week to provide additional discovery. We have more discovery coming. We hope that much of what they felt they had to file a motion to compel on, instead of being patient and wait because our discovery deadline isn't until September, that we'll have and be able to make that available between now and the hearings on the 14th. And there may very well be little, if anything, we have to fight about. Your Honor also noted there are some things that we simply do not have the power to access. And we have been trying consistently through cooperative efforts, as well as following the process with the federal government. They have been good partners, but they
imagine he's like the file cabinet we put this shit in. Somebody put a Rubik's Cube on the front of it. We got interns in the office. They're moving it around. They started with the daisy. They're trying to get, the one side solved here, Your Honor. So as soon as we figure out how to solve this fucking thing without taking the stickers off, because we've tried that too, not working, nothing's working. We'll have it as soon as we can. I promise you. Imagine some people started saying shit like that.
How dare you?
That would be funny. Okay. We just got an off the grid and I lost my... Oh, there it is. Missy! Yes. Missy! Thank you for a little off the grid action. You found the PayPal. You found the links on top of thehauntedSide.com. Thank you for the love. That's 2 off the grids. Where is my thing? There it is. Yo, we have 5 last night. Can we reach 10? Let's keep going.
have their own
Shout out to the nurses, Missy.
rules to work with. This isn't the motions for the subpoenas ducis tecum isn't the first TUI process, and the court is aware. We've been pursuing TUI process for all types of information for months. So the characterization that we are just consciously withholding information to frustrate the defense is utter nonsense. That is not true. We will provide everything we can that is providable under the rules.
So Judge said he will seal that upcoming hearing on May 14th, where this motion to compel discovery will be heard. And he said there could be a portion of that hearing that could be open to the public. He'll just have to wait and see. He's also going to sign some subpoenas for the FBI to try to get this information that the defense wants. And remember that alibi information that Bryan Kohberger submitted to the court? Well, the state is asking Judge to reject that information. They're saying they've been prejudiced and haven't had an ability to investigate it properly because it's not specific enough. And if Bryan Kohberger wants to offer an alibi, the prosecution said the only reason he should be able to is if he takes the stand, because he doesn't have anybody who can say he was anywhere else but the scene of the murders that night. Here's what.
Whoa. Hey, that makes sense. Jelly Bean, welcome back. Ring my bell, ring my bell. Thanks for ringing the subscriber bell and supporting the channel. Very much appreciated. Y'all, we're still trying to get 8 more of these mariachi hats. Hit me with the hats, y'all. I bet you we can't get 10 of them.
But former prosecutor Andy Wilson said about Kohberger's alibi information when we spoke about it recently.
Well, first of all, the Idaho Criminal Code requires that if you're going to use an alibi defense, you have to file notice of it. This is part of that process. And the whole idea is to put the prosecution really kind of on notice of what it is you're going to try to say, so they can prepare to present rebuttal evidence to deal with whatever that defense is going to be. So typically, from a prosecution point of view, what you like to see with an alibi is, or with a notice of alibi, is some level of specificity. And what I see here is this is just kind of a general pleading. Hey, the defendant was out in the country in the middle of the night, looking at the moon, looking at stars. From a prosecutor point of view, I certainly would respond and ask for more specificity. I would ask for specific witnesses who may be able to prove his comings and goings. They did list a witness that they're going to try to use to show where he was through phone records, but I just don't think that that's probably general enough to do what you have to do with respect to the alibi.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to want a specific person who can actually testify to this. That's what I'm guessing they mean by a witness, a person that can put you there. I'm also here seeing that they say he was at this favorite spot of his. It's Hawaii Park, and that this became a favorite spot of his as he moved from Pennsylvania to Washington in June of 2022. This is somewhere he frequented. He was a night owl, so he would frequently go on these drives, and he actually had photos, including in November of 2022, at the same month of the murders, of the sky and of the moon and the stars. So this guy's out and about at night, late at night, in the early morning hours, according to the defense, taking pictures of the stars and the moon at this park. So does that help him that this is somebody who is out and about at times in the middle of the night?
So I don't think it does. Again, it doesn't provide enough specificity to actually prove that he was somewhere else at the time of the murders. As a matter of fact, when I prosecute cases, I like the notice of an alibi because it kind of tips the defense hands. It kind of shows me what they may or may not do with respect to the case. And there's a couple different things I look for. Number one is you can get a notice of alibi that shows that your defense is going to be, you're just going to throw anything you can against the wall. So, and again, that's kind of what you see here. It's just kind of an absurd story. This guy likes to just go out in the middle of the night and take pictures of the moon and the sky. And I'm not saying he does that, but you also have to deal with the fact that his DNA's in the scene. You've got to deal with the fact that he drives the exact same car that we know is over in the area of the murders. And just to say that he was out, the exact same night of the murders, and he's out just driving around the countryside is just absurd. The other thing that I look
little strange. Y'all hit me with those mariachi hats. We're trying to hit the new ones, y'all. Oh, it's Cinco de Mayo this weekend, isn't it? Now I get it. Are they going to bring the tacos back, y'all? Remember we used to taco the trolls? Can't do that anymore. TikTok takes the best ones away. But hit me with the mariachi hat, y'all. Let's get it. Come on.
For with respect to a notice of alibi is a lot of times it can kind of indicate whether or not the defendant's ultimately going to testify in the case. Because I've seen alibi notices where, look, the only way this alibi is going to be able to put forward is if the defendant takes a stand. And what you're seeing here is
Dawn. Thank you for the mariachi hats, Dawn. 50% of the way there. Y'all, we got 3 left. Dawn, you're crazy.
Get out of my attic.
Thank you for the love. Y'all, put some hearts in the chat for Dawn there. Going haywire.
they put this expert that they're going to try to use to show the phone records. That indicates to me that, again, I don't think this defendant's going to testify.
Kohberger maintains he did not murder Maddie Mogan, Kelly Gonsalves, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle in the house on King Road on November 13th of 2022. So we will keep an eye on all of this and keep you up to speed on the latest developments.
Oh my word. Oh, gee.
You what?
Did we just hit it? Yo, no way. Coming in hot. Crushing goals, pissing off trolls already. The trolls got to be mad now. Okay, so Judge is like, y'all stop fighting. I wonder what it is, though. I wonder what they think that they're hiding. Because they didn't say, right? They're like, we don't know yet. Yo, 111 donuts. Okay, let's move on. BK, you crazy as hell. Can't wait for that trial, y'all, so we get to the bottom of all this stuff. Boom! Oh, Lord have mercy. Who is this? KD, thank you for the donuts. Let's get it going. Dan Schneider. Oh, my God. This dude's pissed. Bryan Kohberger's pissed. Says the FBI is hiding evidence. This dude's pissed because that company made the production company made Quiet on Set. He's like, ooh, that's a damn hit piece, is what he said. Okay, let's find out. By the way, TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. Tap the screen like crazy. Let's get 50,000 likes. Hit me with some donuts. And if you guys want to watch the video with us, come on over to YouTube. Just search The Mystery Project on YouTube. Boom, it's right there. You can find the channel. You can find this live stream. You can watch the video. Same thing on Rumble. Shout out to Rumble. We got 140 people watching on Rumble, and we got 40 people watching on YouTube. Shout out to y'all. Hit that thumbs up button. All right, let's see what happened here. Dan Schneider, y'all. He's mad as hell. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The docuseries Quiet on Set sent shockwaves across the U.S. for its explosive commentary and disturbing details. But now one of the men at the center of the series is suing the producers of the hit docuseries, alleging defamation and for falsely implying he sexually abused child actors. Dan Schneider,
whoa, entertainment educational purposes only,
was the creative mind behind several hit children's television shows, such as The Amanda Show, Drake and Josh, iCarly, Victorious, and so many more. His attorneys filed the defamation lawsuit on May 1st against the show's producers, Warner Brothers, and Sony Pictures. In the suit, Schneider's lawyers say Quiet on Set falsely implied Schneider sexually abused the children who worked on his television shows. They claimed the docuseries' portrayal of Schneider as a hit job, saying the defendants destroyed Schneider's reputation and legacy through false statements and implications. The suit specifically brings up the Quiet on Set trailer, which was released in February, calling it defamatory, and it falsely implied Schneider was a child sex abuser. It goes on to state the implication of Schneider.
Dear Lord, entertainment and educational purposes only. TikTok overlords, my God.
Schneider's work with children, followed by the words true crime event, is clearly stating Schneider committed a crime, one involving children, which the suit says is false. The complaint also adds the trailer depicts a video of Schneider working on set while posing the question, how safe can any kids be in that environment? That voiceover was followed by another voiceover stating there would be even bigger problems down the line with actual pedophiles on set. Schneider's lawyers
dear Lord have mercy.
Argue the former Nickelodeon creator was not only the main focus of the trailer, but the sole focus.
Well, I think he's going to have a big road to have to follow or to have to go up with this.
I spoke with criminal defense attorney Natalie Whittingham-Burrell, who tells me she's surprised Schneider filed the suit, but adds she doesn't see the complaint going very far.
He is a public figure. And so he's going to have to prove that they defamed him with actual malice, which is a really high standard to overcome, meaning that they knew something that they said was false and they published it anyway. Not that just that they were reckless with the publication, but that they actually knew that it was false and they published it anyway. And here you have multiple accounts from former child stars as to Schneider's behavior towards them. And as long as they genuinely believed what those children or former child stars told them.
Yeah, they ain't kids no more anymore. Y'all hit me with the donuts. Tap the screen like crazy. Let's get 50,000 likes. Hit the follow button if you're new here.
More than likely, he would not be successful in a case such as this. And then also the allegations that were made against Schneider were not, graphic in nature, but more to do with a bullying environment to which he himself has already apologized for and admitted to in his public statements. So I just don't really see a pathway forward for him here to really win this case, but stranger things have happened.
The 4-part docuseries and bonus episode, which aired on Investigation Discovery, featured interviews with former child stars, writers, producers, and other crew members who alleged toxic workplace environment, verbal abuse, and inappropriate behavior while they worked with Schneider on several of his hit shows.
Oh, snap. Crazy.
Some of those allegations...
Tempe, did you just... Tempe, subscribing. What? Ring my bell. Ring my bell. Thanks for ringing the subscriber bell. Supporting the channel, y'all. Let's keep going. Hit me with those donuts, TikTok. We always stall out on the donuts. 111. Let's get it.
Specifically against Schneider came from former writers for the hit children's series The Amanda Show. Jenny Cleggan, who was one of 2 female writers for the show, claimed Schneider would show pornography from his computer. She said Schneider would pressure the
Bronze, photography, TikTok overlords, photography. Damn, this one might have been Rumble exclusive, y'all.
2 female.
If anything happens to the TikTok stream, y'all, we're live on YouTube and we're live on Rumble. Just search The Mystery Project on both. In fact, come on over now. Hang out with us. You can see the video.
Writers to
not just listen to it.
Publicly perform seemingly sexually explicit activities in front of co-workers, including asking the other female writer, Christy Stratton, to tell stories as if she was being sodomized, but as jokes. Stratton, who was interviewed...
What? Man, you crazy as hell talking like that. Oh, my God.
For the series, didn't want to speak on that incident, only saying she wasn't proud of it. She said working with Schneider was like working in an abusive relationship. Cleggan also discussed the inappropriate meaning behind a popular character of The Amanda Show named Penelope Taint. She claimed that in the
Penelope who?
You what?
writer's room, Schneider said he wanted to keep the true meaning behind the character's last name a secret, saying don't tell what the word really means, alluding to male genitalia.
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
In addition to those claims, former crew members on several hit Nickelodeon shows alleged Schneider pressured female staffers to give him massages. Some also...
Man, you're sick, bro. You're going to burn in hell for that one.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Found it inappropriate. Schneider appeared in skits with Amanda Bynes, referring to the skit where the two were in a hot tub. Bynes would appear in a swimsuit, while Schneider appeared fully clothed. Some former child actors who appeared in the docuseries said Schneider developed a close relationship with Bynes, appearing to mentor and run lines with her as the two were reportedly often alone together numerous times while on set. Schneider did not appear in the series, but defended his relationship with Bynes, who also wasn't interviewed for the series. After the series aired, Schneider released a 19-minute video to his YouTube channel where he apologized for his actions.
Watching over the past 2 nights.
That's the same dude?
What? What the fuck?
Oh my... Yo, that's not the same guy. Who is that? That looks like the main character in Red Dead Redemption 2. Arthur. That looks like Arthur. That looks like Arthur towards the end of the storyline, if you know what I'm saying. What?
What the fuck?
Y'all don't even know what I'm saying, TikTok. Come over and join the YouTube and the Rumble stream so you can see it. Ooh, Rebel Woods. Thank you. Is it Rebel? Rebel Drones. Thank you. Y'all, hit me with the donuts too. Come on, let's get it. Trying to get 111 so TikTok will share the word about the live stream. They don't want to share anything anymore. In fact, let's check on the videos, y'all. The video talking about this live stream. 860 views.
Bruh.
TikTok. Seriously? Not y'all, but the overlords. Figure it out, TikTok. We have 181,000 people that follow this page. And they're like, here's 800 views. They're crazy, y'all. It's just crazy. All right, that can't be the same guy, though. Look at that dude.
It was very difficult, me facing my past behaviors, some of which are embarrassing and that I regret. And I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology.
Yeah, and some jail time, bro, allegedly. Country Girl Beth, thanks for the donut. See? Boom. There we go, y'all. There's 10 more. Oh, we can get it, y'all. Come on, let's crush that. Donuts, donuts, donuts.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation. And even additionally, I apologize to the people who were walking around Video Village or wherever they happened, because there were lots of people there who witnessed it who also may have felt uncomfortable. So I owe them an apology as well.
Additionally, in the suit, Schneider claims the series producers attempted to associate the former showrunner with two convicted child sex offenders, Jason Handy and Brian Peck. And arguably the biggest bombshell revealed in the series, former Nickelodeon star Drake Bell came forward as Peck's victim. Bell said the abuse began after Peck drove a wedge between he and his father, who was his manager at the time. Bell referred to the abuse as brutal and extensive.
Oh my God.
Saying it was not a one-time incident. Peck was ultimately arrested after he confessed on a recorded line. He pleaded no contest to oral copulation with the minor.
Dear God, you're going to burn in hell for that one, bro.
How dare you?
And performing a lewd act with a 14 or 15-year-old. Bell's identity as a victim in the case was not made public at the time. And
Sarah, thank you for the donuts. Y'all. Cheryl, thank you for the donuts. Y'all hit me with the donuts. Come on, let's crush it. We're going to get to 111, y'all. We're going to get there. McGinna in the house, too. What? McGinna. Hit me with a little chili pepper action. Thank you.
According to Bell.
Yeah, Montreal came up for a visit, and then she's sitting on the other chair over there just cleaning herself, apparently.
Schneider was not aware Bell was Peck's victim until Bell confided in him. In the series, Bell would credit Schneider for offering support to him. Peck would only spend 16 months in prison and was later required to register as a sex offender. Right before...
Damn. Later, bro. Amber, thanks for supporting the show. Off the grid action, true crime time. Thank you so much. You got yourself a charcoal premium tea. Those are the nice ones. Those are the nice ones. The premium tea. Yo, that's 3 off the grids. Thank you for the love, the support. I appreciate it.
Peck's arrest, the former production assistant Jason Handy, who had worked on the shows like All That and The Amanda Show, was also arrested for sexually abusing children. Handy was arrested
with a last name like that.
In 2003 for kissing and touching a 9-year-old.
Oh, no way.
You what? What? What the fuck?
Man, these people are gross. I'm going to throw up my mouth after
and
that
later
one.
Convicted for child abuse and child pornography. Handy had a report.
Sorry, TikTok. I got to do that because the overlords hear certain words and they get mad as hell.
Reportedly worked with many of the kids on set. One parent of a former Amanda Show extra said her daughter had received explicit images sent by Handy.
Ew.
The filing states Schneider had no knowledge of Handy or Peck's abuse, was not complicit in the abuse, and he condemned the abuse once it was discovered, reiterating Schneider was not a sexual abuser himself.
That may be that it's a systemic issue, but the way to get that out into the public domain is not through a defamation lawsuit. Because again, what are we saying here? It is true that Dan Schneider was the bigwig at Nickelodeon for this children's content. It is true that on his sets were hired child predators. It is true that he oversaw these people and that he was in control of hiring and firing. As we saw with Quiet on Set, he had the ability to fire people with the drop of a dime, right? So none of those things are false. It was a systemic issue at Nickelodeon, and so he is not the only one to blame, but he certainly has some level of responsibility. And so I just don't think it's actionable. Anyone can file a lawsuit. It just doesn't mean that it's really going to go anywhere. I just don't see this going anywhere.
According to the lawsuit, Schneider's reputation and career were harmed by the trailer and the docuseries. Schneider's lawyers say in recent years there have been rumors about Schneider and his shows, including jokes that were taken out of context. His lawyers claim average viewers who watched the trailer or the series interpreted each as a matter of fact that Schneider sexually abused children on his shows.
Whoa.
The suit also refers to the comments made by viewers about the trailer on Investigation Discovery's YouTube channel. Some of the comments in the complaint say, "I watched. Dan Schneider, Brian Peck, and Jason Handy need to be in prison. Dan Schneider needs to go down. He's gross. What a sick predator. Arrest Dan Schneider. I hope that Dan Schneider goes down just like R. Kelly and Harvey after their docuseries."
Yes.
Whoa.
So I would like to caution your audience and everyone else to be very careful. Make sure that you read and watch the things that you're commenting on. It's very easy to get caught up in the fury of what's going on. The allegations against him are unseemly, but they are not of a nature of child touching and intimate.
Dear God. Tippy, I know my eyes hurt. It's like the allergies, y'all. Especially this one. I need to go get my little droppy drops in there. But it's that time of the year. Everything's growing. It's getting crazy as hell. I'll try to like watch the screen. I'm like this. Hello? Is anybody there? In fact, maybe I will go do that.
Areas to try to put it as safe a way as possible. And so I think people are assuming that, but that's not what the allegations are. It's putting children in sexually suggestive situations in these skits and plays and all that going back in the 90s and early 2000s, and on the different shows like, iCarly and The Amanda Show and things like that.
I wonder if I have time to run over there, get my eye drops, y'all. Let's find out.
Having them do things that were kind of inappropriate and risque for children of their age. Encouraging them to drink underage is being alleged as well. And then kind of like emotional abuse, which is really important because that impacts someone as they grow up, however, is not necessarily even a crime. So a lot of the things that he is accused of are in this gray area that are not criminal acts. They're just not.
Yo, give me like a minute and a half. Give me a minute and a half. I'll be right back. I'm going to go put some stuff in my eyeball.
Healthy things that you would want your child to be engaged in. And people are horrified to hear that these children who entertained us for so long were dealing with as well. But yes, there's no allegation here of sexual touching, but unconsented to, shoulder rubbing, things like that, feet touching, and those kind of unsavory things are out there. They're just not illegal.
Schneider parted ways with Nickelodeon back in 2018, not due to alleged sexual abuse, but after an internal investigation found evidence of verbal abuse toward his colleagues. Whittingham Burrell says the suit could be seen as bullying by Schneider, a criticism he's faced since his time at Nickelodeon.
Yeah, because in this case, Dan Schneider, we have seen on video his behavior towards these children, putting these children in sexually explicit positions like Ariana Grande and those type of things, Amanda Bynes being in a hot tub with her. We've seen that with our own eyes. They did not allege more than the things that we've seen with our own eyes and things that he has admitted to, like being a bully on the set, basically, and apologizing for that.
Y'all, I'm super emotional now. Just kidding. Oh, it's already working. Oh,
So it
got my eye drops in there.
could be seen as he's using his position of power and authority like he did when he was the boss at Nickelodeon to try and silence his alleged victims. And he has the right to make use of the justice system. It's there for a reason. We want people to settle things through court instead of through other means. However, we know that
Through other means? What does that mean?
a defamation law
People disappearing, giving them concrete shoes? Y'all, hit me with the donuts. Come on, we can crush donuts. Let's get donuts out of the way.
suit, defending one of those can be very timely, time consuming, costly. You know, those people are all going to have to retain lawyers. But for the smaller actors, the people that took the courage to speak out against him, it could be seen that he's trying to financially shut them up and make them shut up with the threats of lawsuits. That's why it could be seen as bullying, using his lawyers to essentially shut up people that are speaking out against him.
Schneider is seeking compensatory and punitive damages, attorney's fees, and injunctive relief, including editing, taking down, or removing all or a portion of the trailer and or the docuseries.
Damn.
Whittingham Burrell says she doesn't see the suit going too far in the court system.
I am sure that a cease and desist was sent before the lawsuit was filed, since he is very clear that he wants this injunctive relief, saying, you know, you guys don't, you know, redact me from this documentary, I'm going to sue you. And they still have the documentary out, and he's filed this lawsuit. So that leads me to think that more than likely they're not going to. And they would be out so much money by doing that. This documentary has gone viral. It's just really taken up. It's just crazy.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks for the bless yous.
How many people are commenting on this everywhere. And so I don't think investigation discovery gets rid of this. And so it's going to be up to the court. And as I said, I don't have any confidence in the strength of this lawsuit because his reputation was already so bad. And he's admitted to these acts, and many of the acts are on video. So I just don't think he's going to win this. And I don't think I don't think the documentary is going anywhere.
At this time, the defendants in the complaint have not publicly responded to Schneider's lawsuit.
Holy hell. One more. Yep. Oh, man. The allergies, y'all, kicking in hard this year. By the way, y'all, hit me with the donuts. Come on. We can do this. We can do this together. Everybody hit me with one. Go off the grid. Support the show directly. What's next, you ask? What's next, you ask? Boom. Ruby Frankie. Y'all, remember last night we were listening to her friend that was talking about all the Jody Hildebrandt and all that stuff? Yeah. We're going to jump into this one, y'all. We're going to jump into it. I found both videos, and I got them ready for us. Are y'all ready? If you want to see the video, come over to YouTube, search The Mystery Project, or come over to Rumble, search The Mystery Project. That's the name of the channel on both. And we're live on all three platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble. Here we go. Let's see what this lady's got to say about Ruby Frankie and Jody Hildebrandt.
Hi, my name's Paige Hanna. I'm married to Johnny Hanna. I have 8 kids. I live in Utah. And
8, did she say? Dawn, there we go. Thank you.
I am a former colleague to Jody Hildebrandt and former friend and business partner to Ruby Frankie. This video has been a long time coming. For years, I've wanted to share my experience with connections and have not known how or when.
Oh, Lord. Uh-oh. Auntie Ray. Hi, Patrick. Happy Friday. Hello. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. Y'all, TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, we're live every night. Keep tapping the screen. We're almost at 50,000 likes. We got about 40 donuts left, y'all. Hit me with some donut action, and let's keep going. This is Ruby Frankie's, I guess, friend, or I guess was friend, former friend. That's the word, former friend, former business associate, and I guess she worked with Jody Hildebrandt as well. So we're going. She's coming out. She's talking about it.
And no, it's time. I definitely know that my husband's name has been put on the radar through Kevin Frankie and some misconceptions he's had, and would like the opportunity to share my experience in its entirety.
Ooh, let's go, y'all, because remember Kevin, we listened to the video last night from Law&Crime. They were talking about how Kevin was like saying like weird stuff, like Jody was like living with these people. I think is what she said, and like it was crazy stuff. So this lady came out saying this, like, oh, hold up, I need to set the record straight here.
To offer a bridge to a lot of pieces that are not connecting. I want to explain first that in no way will the videos I put out be monetized. I am not seeking any gain off of the pain of the Frankie children. I only seek to provide some understanding that hopefully in the future might aid them in some way, or aid people who will help them in understanding this side of the narrative. The comments below will be shut off, as well as like and dislike. I've already been accused of being the source of all of this pain that's been caused.
Whoa.
Because I initially was the introduction of connections to Ruby. There is an email address posted below. If you have sincere comments or questions, you can email that address. Those will be screened before getting to me. So save your energy.
Oh, damn. Don't come at me with your hate. Dawn, thank you for the donuts. And y'all, the links to these videos are in the description. So if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, if you go down, the first video is the first link, second video is the second link, and then this one is the third, and then the next one's the fourth. So if you want to go find that email address and everything, I think her YouTube channel is Under the Rug, but it's the third link on the YouTube description and the Rumble description.
Posting negative because I won't read them, but I genuinely will help answer anything that people are wondering. This isn't going to be easy. This isn't something that I take any joy in sharing. It's been really difficult the last 6 months understanding what those Frankie children have been through, especially with the knowledge that I tried to warn Ruby and she not only didn't listen, but told me that I was lying, and it has been very painful understanding that she was already that controlled by Jody. In order for you to understand the later things that took place, Jody did in fact stay at my home for 6 weeks. I need to start at the beginning with where I was introduced to connections and some of the very basic teachings that I received, because those teachings that were good at the beginning were what I was able to utilize and my husband to recognize how sick she was. I also have the understanding that even when I was taking a class from her, which is initially how I met her, she had already been abusive to Jesse Hildebrand. So
is that her husband? Is that Jody's ex-husband?
In the past, I may have said that, oh, she became a dark person. I recognize she was a dark person from the beginning and can see how it was masked and how she utilized good things to then bring in this control that she wielded. In 2017, I had just given birth to my 6th child, who was a girl. I had had 5 boys previously, and this girl, while I was so excited to have this girl, I was terrified of being a mother to a daughter, and just was finally at a point where I really wanted to understand myself better to be a better parent. I had a nanny, a dear friend who had been helping me for years and had seen Jody as a therapist for a period of her life, a short period, and had some forms and worksheets from her time in therapy and brought them to me, and they were good. They were very basic teachings of how to know if you've gone into drama and how to get yourself out of it, how to recognize your motive and not go into shame, or just really basic. I don't know that they were Jody's teachings or just therapy in general, but that put Jody on the radar. So then a year later, when I heard she was doing a parenting class, I thought it was a good idea. This parenting class was a 6-week or 8-week course, taught once a week for 2 hours. There were a few couples in there. There were some different men and women, and it was
parenting class from Jody Hildebrandt. Oh my God. Yo. What on earth? Man, that's crazy as hell. That's crazy as hell.
A typical class.
That's like trying to take how to be quiet on a live stream classes from me. You know what I mean? Like,
bruh.
It ain't gonna work. It is not going to work.
Came in, she had a presentation, she would teach some principles.
You know what is going to work, y'all? Us hitting these donut goals. Come on, y'all. We got like 20 left. Let's get it.
And we'd ask questions, and then we'd be on our way. As I sat in the class, there were so many things that were good. And I know nobody wants to be educated in connections. A connections bomb went off for me 3 years ago, and I haven't touched it. I didn't even sit in the rubble. I wanted out. I had eradicated the vocabulary. I just wiped the slate and went the other direction. And
probably a good idea. Dawn, did you just go haywire? Oh, it disappeared. Did we hit the goal? Thank you. Thank you.
For the purpose of you understanding what will then take place, there's some principles I want you to understand. The very, very basic one was there was an arrow coming down pointing this way and an arrow coming down pointing this way, and it was peace. Peace feels like serenity and calm and confident and at rest, and this state that everybody would like to be in. You feel enough, you feel worthy, you feel loved. And then on this side was pain. And in a state of pain, you feel insecure, unworthy, unloved, anxious, depressed, stressed. And
it's not that, y'all, that Jody Hildebrandt lady, she is crazy as hell playing off these people's emotions. Playing off these people's emotions, y'all. And she must have been crazy, like, effective at it. You know what I mean? Because, like, this lady seems like very sophisticated, very classy, very well-spoken, intelligent, articulate. And for this Jody Hildebrandt lady to be preying on people like that, that takes a certain type of monster.
And the whole,
like, she went in and Jordan Belforted these people. She hit them with the penny stocks at first, or no, she hit them with the good stuff at first, like she was saying, and then she, like he said, unloaded the bullshit on them afterwards. That's crazy, y'all.
process was that if you can look at your thoughts, you can trace when you moved from that place of peace over into a place of pain. Ultimately, she shifted that into when you can trace your thoughts and your feelings, then you will know if you are in truth or if you've moved into a place of distortion.
You what?
Just crazy as hell. Dawn, thank you for the big hand hearts. Then thank you for the little hand hearts. Thank you for all the hand hearts. Dawn, you're amazing. Thank you. Y'all put some hearts in the chat for Dawn. She is
Unhinged bananas crazy.
in the best way possible.
And yes, I want to gag every time I use those two words because she completely destroyed the word truth, and distortion makes me want to vomit.
Ugh.
So I'm just going to refer to them as pain and peace. But I want you to understand that's where the initial, they're in distortion came from. Because to accuse a child of being in distortion, well, then you should be able to have the compassion and empathy to recognize, well, they're in a state of pain. And instead of saying, well, they're not in truth, then it's, oh, well, they're not in peace. And how can I, as a parent, help them to get into a state of peace if I can recognize that they're in pain? And so,
well, you can love them, and then you can get them the hell away from Jody fucking Hildebrandt. That's one thing you could do. Get them out of that lady's care.
I took to that pain and peace teaching very quickly because I thought, what a gift. What a gift. If I can recognize my child's hurting, then I can see they're in pain and I can help them through compassion and kindness and charity, help them come over into a place of peace. That's why the parents were there. That was the parenting class. Another teaching was adulation.
That's pretty crazy. That's the parenting class? You see that your child is in pain and you comfort them? See that your child is going through something, so you talk to them and figure out what it is and how you can help them? And that's what Jody Hildebrandt was making $30,000 a month telling people?
And denigration. A state of feeling better than or a state of feeling less than. And if you are feeling like you're better than other people.
By the way, y'all, I'm going to start my relationship advice channel. I have to start doing that. Thumbs up in the chat. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. I know y'all want it. I know y'all want it.
Then somewhere deep inside, you must have fear that you're not enough. And if you feel less than other people, well, then you have fear that you're not enough. And they're both on the same lever. It's just which one are you in, and how do you get to the fulcrum of I'm enough. I'm just enough. I'm not better than less than. I'm just enough of who I am. So when I heard that, I thought, well, this is great. I can tell every time I go into feeling less than, and that was something I brought to my kids. I thought, this is amazing. When you're at school, if you can feel that you've gone into this state, like, oh, then you're in pain, and what are the stories you're telling yourself, or what experience happened that was really hard that you can talk to me about, and I can show you love and kindness around. And so I saw this material initially as being this very basic, simple way to become a better person, a more kind, patient, loving person. It slowed down behavior enough so you could recognize the thought before the action, and that was a good space. That was a good thing I needed, that
sounds like accountability. She made $30,000 a month teaching people the concept of accountability.
What the fuck?
That is crazy. She must have been like, I don't even know. That is nuts. Hey, before you do something, think really hard about the consequences of that action before you make the decision to do whatever it is you're thinking about doing.
Bruh.
That'll be $4,973. And I only accept cash. Damn.
As a younger mom with 6 little kids, my oldest at the time, I think, was 8. So
Erica, right? The irony of Jody Hildebrand teaching accountability, right? Cheryl, thanks for the hand heart. Don, thank you for an enormous amount of hand hearts too. Y'all, we got 3 of those hand hearts left. Thank you for the love. Go off the grid too, y'all. We got, I think 3 right now. 3? Yeah, we got 3 off the grids. Go support the show, y'all. TheHauntedSide.com. You can find all kinds of merch. You can find the Cash App, the Venmo, the PayPal. Shout out to Dolores for the Cash App. Shout out to Misty for the PayPal. Shout out to Amber for getting a True Crime Time t-shirt. Thank you for the love. And if you guys want to see the videos that we're watching, come on over to YouTube. Just search The Mystery Project on YouTube. You can find this video. And on Rumble, y'all do the Rumble thing too. Rumble.com/The Mystery Project. Either one. Come on in, y'all. Let's continue on. We got this video, then we got another one of her videos.
6 kids under 8.
And to recap, y'all, this is Paige Hannah, and she was Ruby Frankie's friend and like business partner for some things, but she also went in the teachings or the connection stuff with Jody Hildebrand. And she's talking about it and how at first everything that she was saying seemed to make sense and seemed to be good, right? Like it was stuff that people could actually apply and say, well, that makes sense. Then it started getting weird. And she said she realizes now that it was just manipulative techniques is what she's saying right now. She was fooled by this crazy lady, Jody Hildebrand. Let's keep going.
I just wanted to be more in peace. So pain and peace was the gauge. And then everything else, all of these principles of truth, were these supplements to help you recognize when you've moved from peace over into pain. I'm trying to remember what. Drama was one of them, like I mentioned. Love and lust also makes me want to gag. She's had a bunch of these, right? They were one right after the other. And so when you understood those, you would be able to see like, oh, well, I'm not in a state of love. I'm in a state of lust. And so I'm in the place of pain. Or
I don't mind being in either one of them places.
That was easy.
Just kidding. Shout out to Dawn for golf time. Let's go, Dawn. Thank you for the Cash App. As a matter of fact, y'all, I have another tournament. It's my third or fourth one of the year tomorrow. Golf tournament tomorrow. So I'm excited, Dawn. Thank you. That'll be a little high noon action, y'all. Noon me up. Got to get some high noons for the course tomorrow, although it's the competitive tournament. So it's going to be a good one, y'all. Wish me luck.
Or distortion, and then I need to get over into peace or truth. So she was training me on how to recognize my own behaviors, right? That's ultimately what was happening. And because of that teaching,
That just sounds weird. She was training me to recognize my own behaviors.
You what?
Man, that sounds crazy as hell. That sounds crazy, doesn't it?
I started recognizing the behaviors of my children, and I could see when they were hurting, and I could see when
Andy Ruth, good to see you. Shay, good lucky. Thank you.
They were feeling like they weren't enough, or insecurity was coming in, and different things. And then how this manifested in marriage was, I started recognizing when I was off, and Johnny started recognizing when he was off, and then we would communicate and have these conversations of recognizing, oh, well, it was when this is what I misunderstood, and when I thought that, this is where I went, and then, okay, this is what I heard, and this is why I went there. And so overall, it just increased the ability to communicate within my household, and I was grateful for it. So that's 2017, that's 2018. I'm here in 2024 having completely separated myself from any of those teachings, from anything, because what I recognized the problem became early on was I found something good, but then that good thing became my God. And in the process of that, I recognize how easy that is. It doesn't take somebody with a low IQ to be manipulated by, let's just say, a cult leader.
Whoa.
It just takes the desire to become a better person and somebody to come and manipulate it. So whether you just want the approval of a boss or a pastor or a friend that you think is better than you or you perceive as on a pedestal, you are in danger of dropping your own character and integrity to appease that other person. And that's what Jody was masterful at. That I can see from my 2024 perspective, but my 2018 perspective was very naive and just, this is so good. This is so helpful. I have some tools that will help my family. And oh, look, it is helping my family. So I think it could help your family too. And because multiple people were having this experience, then multiple people were bringing others into the same teachings. Here is a parenting class. Here is I think she.
Yo, by the way, some people just coming in saying, who is this? So this is Paige Hannah. She worked with Ruby Frankie. She was friends with Ruby. And she's talking about how in 2017 and 2018, she was doing the connections classes and she was working with, or like Jody was like brainwashing them, her and her husband. And that's what she's talking about. So she's saying that these were the teachings that Jody was saying. And she just said she was masterful at getting you to kind of see her way. And she even said like Jody was training her to behave a certain way and to then see those behaviors and call things out in her kids and other people, so much so that then you start bringing in other people to the damn classes.
It's about connection.
Damn. So this is the first one of her videos. This one's a little bit shorter. I think we're probably almost finished with it. Y'all, we could watch the second one or we could put on one of the other cases too. I'll let y'all decide. Thumbs up in the chat. You want to watch the second one of this, going through everything. Thumbs down. You guys want to go to another case. I'll leave it up to y'all.
Called it a 101 class, which was just basic therapy principles to help you with whatever you're going through. There were college students in it. There were older couples. You had an array of people who were just seeking help, and then you had some very basic understandings of how to help you recognize your thoughts to then move into a place of peace. Okay.
I saw a couple thumbs down, but I saw quite a few thumbs up, way more thumbs up.
over time, I recognize that Jody purposely put herself on a pedestal, not just so you would see her as a god, but because she believed she was a god.
You what?
Jody Hildebrand, you crazy one. This lady just said that Jody Hildebrand saw herself as a god.
Bruh.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Lord have mercy. Man, I'd been sitting in there. Hold on. Let me get something else here. Ooh, y'all, you know what? I don't see myself as a god, but I do see myself as a king, baby. Let's go. Hit me with them crowns. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. I'm being facetious. TikTok, hit me with the crowns. But damn, I'm sitting in that room, and all of a sudden this lady's up there like, ho, 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 ho. And I'm like, y'all, you crazy as hell. This is immediately what I'm doing. I'm getting up. I'm going to moonwalk out of that little auditorium to this song. I'm going to be like this.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
That's what I'm saying to Jody Hildebrand, y'all. And you know what? Good on this lady. This is Paige Hanna, y'all. Good on this lady for actually coming out and saying this stuff. Because she very easily could have just disappeared into the ether. But no, she said, you know what? Hold up. I'm gonna set things straight. I'm going to tell the world via her YouTube channel, y'all, exactly who Jody is. So shout out to Paige Hanna, y'all. Let's keep going.
I know it's evident how narcissistic she is, but truly,
Yeah.
To the nth degree narcissistic, and was masterful with the manipulation, was masterful with carefully laying the steps for you to desire what she was teaching and then to desire to please her.
Ew.
Johnny and I never saw Jody as a therapist.
Well, that's good because she isn't. Hang on, y'all. It's going to pause for a second. I'm going to put Jody's picture up. I forgot to put her over here. Whenever you're ready. But now, y'all, YouTube and Rumble, you guys get to stay in the mix the whole time. There's old Jody Hildebrand. Crazy as hell. Y'all, what are we trying to hit? Oh, the crowns. Y'all, hit me with the crowns. Come on, y'all. Let's get 10 of those things real quick. Can we get 10 of them things?
I took the parenting class, thought it was great. He took the parenting class, thought it was great. And then he and I were asked to serve on the board of her company.
Jesus.
Johnny had experience with creating different businesses, and we thought, what a great way to help the mental health of others by supporting this business. We were not paid. It was all volunteer. And over time, we saw the best solution to teaching these helpful tools was to find coaches who were already within the program, already understood it, already benefited from it, to then become coaches and go out and teach. The benefit of that was that Jody, through time, had started becoming more harsh. Instead of, like I had explained, instead of saying like, oh, if they're in a state of distortion, then they must be in pain. Like, how can I help you? You're in pain. It was like, well, you're obviously in distortion. It was gross. I'll just bleep out every time I use the word if it's helpful. And so there was a gigantic lack of compassion, and that was just known by everybody. Nobody questioned it. It was hard to question this person who taught you everything. But everybody just knew, like, well, when I do phone calls with people and help them or talk to them as friends, I am compassionate. I can just say like, oh, I'm sorry, you're in pain. What do you think happened? Or how are you doing? And we thought if we could help this business to have these coaches, then we could get Jody out of the way, and these coaches would very much be able to show compassion, show understanding.
Damn, imagine trying to scale Jody Hildebrandt's business, y'all. Oh, man, you crazy as hell for that one. Dawn Marie. That is crazy trying to scale that up. Jody, you did a number on these people. Look at her smiling back there, too. Looking crazy as hell. Dawn, thanks for the crowns. Dawn, 3 crowns. You're so sweet. Dawn, you're amazing. Thank you so much.
Unfortunately, the majority of the people who
her business. That's what they were just saying. They were saying, how do we get Jody out of there and coaches in that can scale the business up?
Had worldwide who've had introduction to connections had it through Ruby, and Ruby never utilized it the way it was originally learned. So you automatically assume that everybody who ever learned it abuses their children and hates their spouse, and where there probably are people who abuse their children and have hated their spouse, it had good seeds. And
whoa, Carols, thanks for the crown. Shout out to the nurses.
Anything that has good seeds has the ability to lead you away if you make it your God.
Whoa.
Fortunately, I had enough of a relationship with my own higher power that as Jody grew in her control and in her desire to bring pain to people, enough people were like, something's off, this isn't making sense, and we're already going a different direction. I think that's where I want to leave it for now, because it gets ugly and it takes a turn, and that's going to be a really emotionally hard thing to go through.
Oh, snap.
I was still in that state of like, this is good. This has really helped me when I met Ruby in 2018. And thought it would benefit her life. She had told me she wanted to change some of the parenting things that she was doing, and needed more help with patience and understanding and compassion, and I really thought it would help.
Oh man, you could tell. Yep. This Jody Hildebrandt, man, she worked these people over big time, y'all.
So that's the intro to my introduction into connections. I'm going to be explaining.
She should call this series the D Connections.
How things shifted, and then ultimately ended, and yeah, that's all.
Oh my God. Yo. I can't even imagine what the next one is. We might do the next one. We'll do the next one another time, because I see some people saying, ew, I don't want to listen to this. Can't please them all, y'all. Can't please them all. But we did a poll, and the poll was to do a new case. So we'll do a new case. Let's see. Which one do we want to do? This one. This one right here. Bam. This one I didn't get. I literally just got it. So it was one I was going to do, but then I saw that this lady had put out both videos, so I got both of those videos. So this one, the volume might be messed up, and there might still have like the ads, so we'll just have to skip ahead. But let's give it a go. Y'all ready? This is, oh, and I guess I should tell you what it is that we're even watching here. So this is gonna be Melanie Woods. She was found, 33 years old. She was found in her New York City apartment unalived after missing a flight to California. Apparently she was punctured, sorry, TikTok, 20 times and dumped in a bathtub. What? Oh my God, I'm gonna shrink myself down. I'm going to shrink myself down. And let's hit play, y'all. Hopefully this one's okay. Yeah, Auntie D, right? It definitely is. But here we go. Oh, I hold chat. Y'all, hold up. I got to switch the picture too on TikTok. Sorry, y'all. But TikTok, take this chance. Take this time to go leave a like and a comment on the pinned video on the page. Hit the follow button, tap the screen like crazy. Hit me with the crown. We need 6 more crowns, y'all. And come over to YouTube, The Mystery Project. Come over to Rumble, The Mystery Project. That's the name of the channel on both of those places. Come hang out, y'all. You get to see the video. And TikTok, you're going to pause for a second while I send this picture to myself. Allegedly. Ooh, see? Bam. And there we go. Boom, there she is. That's who we're going to be talking about, y'all. All right, let's go. You guys ready for this one? Little bonus case here. A little bonus.
A New York woman was viciously stabbed to death inside of her Manhattan apartment, and police believe her ex-boyfriend is behind it. We're going to dig into what police found when they arrived at the scene, what we know about the victim, and what we know about the suspect, all with former NYPD Sergeant Joseph Giacalone.
Oh, my God.
Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
J-Web.
All right, let's go over to New York City, because officers there made a brutal discovery last week. After reports of a loud fight, they find 33-year-old Melanie Woods in the bathtub with multiple stab wounds to her neck and body.
Dear Lord.
Prosecutors say that she had been stabbed more than 20 times. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The victim's on-again, off-again boyfriend, 51-year-old Candido Rodriguez, was arrested on Thursday. He's been charged with murder. Pleaded not guilty during an arraignment the next day. He's being held without bail. We'll get more into that in a second. But the way this all went down is family had called for a welfare check on the evening of April 23rd because Melanie was supposed to...
Timby, you got to search The Mystery Project. So if you search The Mystery Project, you'll find it. Or click my face, go to the profile, thehauntedSide.com. On those list of links, there's one that says The Mystery Project on YouTube.
Fly to California, where I believe she's from.
You'll get it.
But she never got on the plane. So a friend tracked her location to her apartment. They were obviously worried about this. They were concerned, and police busted in. When they got there, there was reportedly a table partially blocking the apartment door from the inside. A neighbor told police that they saw Rodriguez in the building stairwell around 7 a.m. Then he was seen on surveillance video leaving about an hour later. Prosecutors believe Rodriguez was stalking the victim, that he had been waiting for her to return from an early morning walk with her dog. Prosecutor Marcel Lupiski says that Woods had told Rodriguez that they were done, not to contact her anymore. Prosecutors say he didn't do that. Now, the Daily Mail has reported that Rodriguez wailed as he was brought into court. This is for his arraignment, that he was inconsolable during the hearing, and that his attorney asked the court for him to receive immediate medical treatment. So the judge put Mr. Rodriguez on suicide watch in the jail. Now, let's talk about Melanie Woods because by all accounts, she was just an absolute joy, just a wonderful, wonderful person. She was known for her activism in whatever community she was living in. She attended UCLA in Southern California, had a bachelor's in communication studies with a minor in applied linguistics and language teaching. That's our understanding. She worked with the Los Angeles LGBTQ Center and the San Francisco AIDS Foundation, helping to coordinate events and outreach. She moved to New York for graduate school, attending Columbia University School of Public Health, where she earned a master's degree, had a focus on sexuality and sexual and reproductive health. In New York, Woods worked as a coordinator during the COVID-19 pandemic. She worked with the CDC Foundation's COVID-19 emergency response workforce, as well as the New York City Health and Hospitals. Woods' dad set up a GoFundMe page to raise money to bring Woods' body back to California, again, her home state. It's raised more than $40,000 so far. Now, in a statement on the GoFundMe page, the family said, to know Melanie was to love her. Melanie was a lover of traveling, a best friend to many, an adventure seeker, a loving dog mom. She was someone who always rooted for the underdog and loved to see people thrive and succeed. She was a vibrant soul who brought out the best in anyone around her. This we will never forget. And I'll tell you what, we'll actually put the link to this GoFundMe page in the description, in our YouTube description. Now, her former boss, Joe Hollander, the CEO of the Los Angeles LGBTQ Center, said that Woods was committed to the safety of others. He told the New York Daily News, quote, she was filled with such incredible joy. She was so compassionate. She was one of the most authentic people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. It's not hyperbolic to say that she was the light in every room that she entered. As for Mr. Rodriguez, not a lot is known. He reportedly told police that he didn't have any involvement in Woods' death, said that he was asleep in his own home that was more than 20 blocks away. But again, witnesses, surveillance footage seem to contradict that statement. And this is a really awful case, but I want to talk about what we can expect and what's happening behind the scenes. So let me bring in Joseph Jackalone, retired NYPD sergeant and adjunct professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice. Joe, good to have you back on. I first want to start with the idea of where this happened, right? So many of the cases we cover, we talk about how killings happen in rural areas, they happen in homes. There's something incredibly disturbing and nefarious and kind of alarming that you have someone who's killed seemingly in their apartment, found in their bathtub in a major metropolitan city, right? That part of it always I find to be particularly chilling.
Yes, and unfortunately, it does happen quite often, specifically in domestic violence or intimate partner violence cases. And it's something where you could see where it happened in the bathtub. I don't think that was planned. I think that there might have been a fight that happened outside of that location. And what happens is people often retreat.
Well, there was a bit of an echo there for a second. That was crazy. Damn. I wonder what that lady was doing with somebody like that guy. Why be with that guy?
To the bathroom as a refuge point.
Is he one of those people that puts on the damn mask and you're like, oh, I know who you are. And then next thing you know, you don't know who they are.
And it just so happened that she got cornered there. And this is where this horrific event happened.
And before we even get into some of the reporting about her injuries, can you just talk to me about what is it like to respond to a scene like that?
Sure, and unfortunately, as a cop, especially I started in the in early 1990s, 1992. I got hired, so it was at near the height of homicides in the city, and you end up responding to a lot of these things. You end up becoming almost desensitized, so to speak. You develop your own mechanisms to cope and to deal with them because you want to make sure you keep your own mental health good. And I mean, and as cops and firemen and EMS workers, you respond to so many of these things that eventually it can take its toll on you psychologically and physiologically too. But as police officers, you're trained to secure the scene, try to find out if there are witnesses in or around that area, try to detain them there. But the most important aspect for patrol officers, those uniformed cops that respond, is to aid the victim if you possibly can. That's always the number one goal, even if it means the perpetrator fleeing or going out a back window. It's always go to the victim first.
And unfortunately, there was nothing to be done for Melanie Woods here. It's just a really horrifying crime scene. And again, I just want to highlight the work that you guys do and have done. I mean, it's impossible to think about, but this is the reality of a lot of these crimes. So talk to me about the injuries, because before we went on air, you said you had a little bit of an issue with how it's being reported, what these injuries are, and maybe more importantly, what these injuries are not.
Yeah, it's just about a pet peeve of mine. When you hear a laceration, a lot of times people think that's what it means by a cut. Actually, the medical examiner defines a laceration as something done with blunt force trauma. Somebody's hit with something, a candlestick, a bat, those kind of things that leaves an injury that bridges. Now, when you're dealing with sharp force injuries, that's how you're supposed to describe them. Sharp force injuries could be puncture wounds, could be stab wounds, and it could be incise wounds, which are those slashings which happen, which is unfortunately more than likely what happens in a case like this when you have somebody that is attacked with a knife. You
what? Man, that dude is sick. The boyfriend dude, if he did it, oh my God. Allegedly, right?
I think they said maybe over 20 times that she was attacked with this knife, which means all kinds of different wounds of ones I just explained. Now, you say, why is that important? Because there's going to be other forensic evidence like blood spatter and all the other different things that go along with it, and including what often happens in cases like this, because they're so violent. You always seem to think that it is something very personal in regards to that overkill, right? There's no reason to stab somebody 20 times unless you are really angry at them. And historically, you don't see strangers getting that angry with people. So police often tend to look at those people closest to the victims in all cases, but specifically when there is a knife involved. And those are just some of the things that you put together.
It's a pretty horrifying case. You know, whenever we cover these kinds of stories, particularly domestic violence stories, which, again, is the accusation here, it's scary to think about how well do you know the people in your life? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Do you really know?
Oh, do you really know? It's their ad. I didn't have time to edit this one, y'all.
Charged with murder, and he's also charged with criminal possession of a weapon in the first degree, I believe. So talk to me about, and there's evidence, again, that he was stalking her, that he was following her. You could say this is deliberation, this is planning it. But there's something about that crime scene, right, and the level of the attack. Do you think that there's something there for a defense attorney to say, wait a minute, maybe this was a manslaughter type of case. Maybe he didn't plan this. Maybe he really didn't intend to kill her. Again, we're in the preliminary stages of this, but there's something about this level of attack that could very well be a brutal, cold-blooded killing. But I also wonder if there's something that defense attorneys could work with and say there might be more to the story here.
Well, there's a lot to unpack with that question, right? So one of the things that
right. Y'all hit me with the crowns. We're trying to get 10 of them. We need 6 more if you want to help support the show, and tell TikTok to spread the word about the dang live stream. They're crazy as hell tonight, y'all. I think TikTok is acting crazy tonight, though, because it wasn't working earlier. It was crazy as hell. Nothing was loading. So it might just be one of those nights where TikTok is just... TikTok, are you on one of these kind of nights? Where is it? And not y'all in the chat, but like the actual overlords. All right, let's keep going. By the way, YouTube, join the channel. Click the link that's in the top of the chat there. And hit me with some super chats. Super chats are on, all that stuff. TikTok, hit me with the crowns. We need 6 more, y'all. Let's get this. All right, let's keep going.
Investigators are going to be looking for is, where did the knife come from? Did it come from the apartment itself, or did he bring the knife with him? Right? Because that could lead down to a whole other scenario per se. More than likely, it came from inside the apartment. That's why I said I think this argument started somewhere else within the house, and this is something that the uniform cops, when they first respond, we always teach them to look for certain things that got knocked over, things that looked at, because
right, Rachel, yeah, we did. That was the first case we talked about. But you can always go and rewatch it on YouTube and rewatch it on Rumble, because all these live streams live on YouTube and Rumble forever now.
Show that progression, because
all you got to do is search for The Mystery Project, and we're live right there, or on there right now if you want to come watch it.
As the crime scene photographer and the crime scene unit comes in there, they want to follow that same progression about where this thing started at the beginning. Now, they have said that there are cell phone records in regards to text messages that were sent that were kind of all over the place, so to speak. They didn't really get into what exactly happened, but they did use the word, I think, threat in one of the newspaper articles, that there were threats that were made in there. There's the question that comes down to, too, is that I was thinking about is, how did he get there, right? So she comes home and he's there, right? So did he enter her apartment illegally, aka a burglary, waiting for her to come in there? So yeah, the defense is going to have a difficult time, trying to explain anything else other than that. They're going to probably just look at how this case was investigated and the evidence secured and those kind of things. And I'll tell you, the NYPD does a pretty good job with that, dotting their I's and crossing their T's. So there's a tough road ahead for the defense.
On top of the fact that if I were just to tell you that she's murdered in an apartment, you would say, okay, who has access to the apartment? Who has a grudge against her? And she seemed to be just the most lovely person. And so you narrow it down to people who would have had access, the opportunity. You would immediately think of perhaps a loved one, or you might think of a romantic interest. But then you couple it with the witness accounts. You couple it with the surveillance footage. I don't really see how this is not an open and shut case. I'll give you your perspective on that. But, at least to prove that he was the one who did it, because he's saying he didn't do it, right? As of right now, he's not saying, well, yeah, I did it, but there's more to the story. He's saying he didn't do it. It seems, at least based on initial reporting, that's going to be very hard for him to argue against.
Yeah, this is where, I wouldn't be a bit surprised down the road if there's a plea taken in certain cases like this. It happens quite often. Very few cases go to trial, specifically cases that might have as much evidence stacked up against your client as this one may have. And that's the way it's shaping up. Because remember, we really still don't know per se. But you know what? The video surveillance, the text messages, the witnesses that said they saw him there.
Yeah.
And his alibi as I'm sleeping is not very good in that respect. But also remember, they're going to look at the cell phone technology too. They're going to try to place him there with his cell phone and try to figure out where that was.
What do you make of the table that was apparently blocking the door?
Well,
pretty weird.
One of two things. It depends on if it's blocking the entire door. He had to climb out the window on a fire escape or something like that to try to get out of the building, and then that becomes a tough thing about where did the video surveillance. It might have just been that he had it close enough that he can sneak out the door and close it. But at that point, unless that was there, got pushed, let's say maybe when the fight occurred, but that seems unlikely too. But he probably set it up so that the police couldn't come, or somebody else, maybe a nosy neighbor or something like that, who might have heard the commotion, because they do have a good estimated time of death here, right? Because a lot of people said at around 8 o'clock, the noise stopped. So investigators are going to piece all that together in the post-mortem interval and all the different things that the medical legal investigator or the ME, whoever showed up there, is going to help the police with that estimated time of death too.
And when you commit a killing in a metropolitan area, a metropolitan city like this, there are...
Yeah, right. Jackie, thank you for the crown. Yo, we need 5 more. Hit me with 5 more of those crowns. Tap the screen like crazy, everybody. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, I'm live every night. Hit the follow button on TikTok. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Hit the follow button on Rumble. And hit the like button on both of those. Y'all, we're live on Rumble and YouTube. The Mystery Project. Come check it out. Jackie, another crown. Stop it. Stop it right away. We might hit 10, y'all. 4 left. Let's go.
There are more eyewitnesses. There is more surveillance footage. It seems to me demonstrably harder to try to get away with it than if you were in a rural kind of setting. Talk to me about, and you talked about it a little bit, but what do you think investigators are doing right now? What's happening behind the scenes? What evidence are they collecting? What pieces of the puzzle are they trying to fit in right now?
Well, I'm sure they already executed a search warrant on his apartment, and that's the main thing, because they're looking for the clothes that he was wearing the morning that he was seen on the surveillance video in that place. Because, unfortunately, if you stab somebody 20 times or slash them, there's a good possibility that there's going to be forensic evidence on you, right? The blood or maybe hair follicles, right? The low-odds exchange principle, the theory of transfer between two objects. Somebody leaves something and someone takes something behind. So I think investigators will be keying in on that, including his shoes, because if you have they didn't specify how much blood was there, but I've seen cases like this where there's an awful lot. Now, it did happen in the bathtub area. So if it all happened, it could be contained in there, but there's a good possibility that he stepped in it too, or got some spatter on his shoes or his socks or his shirt or his pants. So that's, I think, to me, number one. If they can recover those clothes, meaning looking through the garbage bins, looking through all the different things if they don't find it there, because I think that becomes an important part of the evidence in this case.
Yeah, absolutely. Jackie, another one. Isabella, thanks for the heartbeat, y'all. Unreal. Thank you so much. 2 crowns left, y'all. Let's get it. This one's almost over too, y'all. Come on.
And I got to ask you,
2 last crowns.
This reporting that he was wailing in court, now being put on suicide watch.
Whoa. Jackie, stop it. 1 left, y'all.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I mean, is he wailing because of what he did or wailing because he got caught, right? That's
Yeah, probably the latter.
From the cop's perspective, we always say is you're crying because you got caught.
Yep, that's what it seems like. Jackie, stop it. Oh, Lord. Y'all, thank you so much for the love and the support. I cannot and would not do it without you. 5 Galaxy Gangs, y'all. Almost done with this case, and I think I'm going to go to bed. I'm tired, y'all. I might call it a little bit early tonight, but 5 Galaxy Gangs, y'all. I dare you.
So it's not. I would say it's not probably a good idea to ask me that question because at this point, it seems as if they definitely have enough evidence for probable cause to make the arrest that he's responsible for her death. So I don't feel sorry for him at all. But you know what? Suicide watch in many of these cases, specifically in domestic violence cases, is always on the table because.
But is it hard? Is that like a high burden for a judge to say, all right, we're remanding him. He's going to be on suicide watch. Is it easy to get that? Or is the judge or the court saying, wait a second, there's something here?
Yeah, it's very easy to get that because nobody wants that on their conscience either. When you have the opportunity to say that. And if somebody is wailing and crying in court or acting, not of their right mind at that moment, then yeah, it's always a good idea to put them on suicide watch because nobody wants to see anybody, hurt themselves or harm themselves or others once they're in jail too. So it's just kind of a 101 kind of step for the judge. I think it was a good idea.
Joseph Jackalone, thanks so much for giving your perspective. I wish I was talking to you under better circumstances. Really, really sad case, but really appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me, Chase.
All right, everybody.
Oh my goodness, that is crazy as hell. They got him on surveillance camera. He's like, not guilty. Not guilty. Come on. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Holy hell. Y'all, thanks for the love. Thanks for the support, but I'm out of here for tonight. I am exhausted. Got a little golf tournament tomorrow. Real one, y'all. Competitive one. So YouTube and Rumble, hit the follow button on Rumble. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube and a thumbs up on both of them. I love you guys. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about that one. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.